a Doom TV.
Yeah, you do.
And now I am a man that a hineme was so made that it's also a Jonumian sound, I think you know any a Jonunai. I don't see video when you say Bano, among where any Amania, a idea you didn't put I don't see the Emma Munina Maha. Lay upon continent about the PM or Mesia and Hilfi, and Yaman Kwana Mohan say, Minnie Yaba. A brass of him, and I create the Binquisa. Mammy, I just Majam Amma Miniaba. Yo, and a year, and him a da, yet also be and son, and there ye the pa. Na Prempeh ya would decay. A brother children in the course Seychelles. And no, and penny for transia, I am many a man here, say, Cobia Asantehene in Asantehene area. Was the baby and a mayor and a media shan and another Budam. And into or shall say, Sabusumi way a woman and net upon day. Warrior, and as a war boat jacket, see, and what dear Shessa, and fish yaw and a mukana. Now my young will be one so will be as one more oneness, and one young Palana, because one to be a crana. And nay, Yashasa, I'm a real singing in Ghana for in Asantehene, and we say, Yen Naya, a betcher, and up and put the cabbage and Nicholas Seychelles, no, and net and ye boat jackets, and net a teaching and intri. Yeah, Seychelles man penny when you have a PMwa, and that's all my Shian and Yasam Ketua. We say, young, and it's a bus, and you pay French chicken and bench, and you have Banya Bomyasha, Fanaya Fe. Near the Ashasa, and Fuaha, I feel the Mukana, and into a mayor mention fear. Yeah, the corner man also. Yeah, could you want money this? Did you best see be at a Doom TV? Young Masabi, when in frown, Yabama, Namate, Amatias, Yaramasi.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and immense joy that I stand before you on behalf of His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II to welcome you to this historic occasion to commemorate 100 years since the return of our King, Nana Prempeh I from exile. This Deba, a celebration of resilience, heritage, and unity, is graced by the presence of two heads of state of Eswatini and the head of government of Eswatini and the head of government of the Republic of Seychelles. These go to reflect the bonds of solidarity that connect us as a people. We are deeply honored to have you with us today again, Excellency Don Ramkalawan, President of Seychelles, and Mrs. Ramkalawan, the First Lady, whose presence serves as a symbol of the deep and lasting connections between our two nations, forged during a time of both hardship and hope. The Seychelles, though far from our own homeland, became a place of where our king found solace. And it is fitting that we welcome you here today as part of this historic occasion. Excellency, your dual role as both a president and an Anglican priest exemplifies the virtue of servant leadership, seeking justice, compassion, and unity. As we reflect on the past, we are inspired to work together for a future that builds on these shared values. To His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Eswatini, we say Siyamboga for joining us on this momentous day. Your attendance reinforces the spirit of African unity and highlights the collective strength we derive from our shared cultural heritage. Otumfuo recalls with great pleasure and joy the red carpet reception he received at your country when he visited a few years ago. He hopes that in due time your king will come down here and also be regaled with similar hospitality and eminent welcome. Today, as we look back on the struggles endured and the triumphs achieved, let us not only remember that King Prempeh Also, we celebrate the values of courage, unity, and hope that sustain our people during the darkest of times. King Prempeh's return 100 years ago was not just a return of a king. It was the restoration of our identity, our culture, and indeed, our pride as a people. Let us use this centenary as an opportunity to reflect on the lessons of our history and to recommit ourselves to building a future where peace, unity, and prosperity prevail. Let this occasion inspire us all to uphold the legacy of our ancestors and to continue striving for the progress and well-being of our great community. Once again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you, especially to our distinguished guests. May this day be filled with reflection, celebration, and a renewed sense of hope for the future. I thank you very much for your attention.
We thank you, the chairman of the planning committee.
Whilst I'm upstanding, I think I will take due advantage and take up the next aspect of the program. That is the presentation by Anglo Gold of some regalia which have been in their custody for some time. Excellencies, you may recall that on his ascension to the golden stool 25 years ago, Otumfuo made it his cardinal point to continue to look for the return of all the regalia that had been looted from the palace in the 19th century through the Sagranti War and others through other battles. This had been started by King Prempeh II, continued by Otumfuo Pokwa II, and he vowed that come the end of his reign, this one, some of the regalia, most of the regalia would have been achieved. So he set up to engage the museum that were holding them to get them, to return them to Kumasi and for them to be returned to their native place of abode. To this end, he commissioned the veteran historian and anthropologist Malcolm MacLeod and the indefatigable Albo Ajmandia to work towards the redemption of this regalia. Fortunately, after long and hard negotiations, in February, the Fowler Museum in Los Angeles returned some 7 artifacts which had been in their custody in the United States. Fortunately, again, in March, after another bout of serious and heart-wrenching negotiations, the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum returned 32 items that have been in their custody since the time of the Sagranti War, that is in about 1875 or thereabouts. Later on, intelligence reached Otumfuo that Anglo Gold Ashanti had in their custody some of the regalia that had been bought by a Swiss art collector and which had found their way eventually to the vaults of Anglo Gold Ashanti. He therefore commissioned our own Albo Ajmandia to authenticate the items and indeed advise us to the propriety or otherwise of going to have them retrieved. Again, Albo did not sleep on his horse. He went on a hard and tough negotiation, and then after duly authenticating them, he found them to be worthy of Ashanti extraction and of Ashanti origin. And therefore, negotiations ensued. Fortunately, Anglo Gold Ashanti lent a very listening ear, and they agreed to unconditionally return the regalia to Otumfuo for eventual safekeeping, so that it will come into his own abode. So it is indeed fitting that this being the third and last of the activities we planned at the beginning of this year should be crowned with the return of the regalia which have been in the custody of Anglo Gold Ashanti all these years. I would now invite Mr. Ajmandia who was at the forefront of the negotiations, to say a few words before Anglo Gold comes over to do the presentation. Thank you very much. I think at this point I can take my seat.
Otumfuo, Asantehene, about 6 months ago, you asked the Chief of Staff, Mr. Kofi Bedu, to prepare me to travel with a board member of Anglo Gold Ashanti, Edward Enim, to South Africa. You had initiated discussions with the leadership of the multinational organization on some 19th century Asante objects that it had acquired through purchase. Other visits that followed indicated that some of the collection Anglo Gold had were Asante, and indeed of the era of the 1870s and 1900s. They had been taken or acquired from Kumasi, and by 1922, a Swiss art collector of West African art, Joseph Muller, had been part of this collection and had these in his possession. This collection of West African art numbered 350 and of the best goldsmithry in West Africa. The collection became part of the Muller's Barber Museum in Geneva. This whole collection was inherited from the Geneva Museum by Anglo Gold Ashanti in 2000, including the objects from Asante. As it was explained to you, Otumfuo, in your initial discussions with them, that is Anglo Gold, they were all put in Anglo Gold's Gold of African Museum in Cape Town in South Africa, and later transferred to the Jalvat Art Center in Pretoria. It was at the Jalvat Art Center of the University of Pretoria that Edward Enim and I were, that we also, as your team, led the other stakeholders and held final negotiations to bring the 28 of these objects to Kumasi. The objects got in 3 days ago, and the Anglo Gold leadership got in this morning to present to you what you asked for. Some of these objects define the Asante court tangible heritage. Language staff, swords, palace security locks, rings and necklaces, proverbial gold weights of crocodiles, gold sandals, and others. In other ways, they define chiefship. I would like to express appreciation. We will like to express appreciation to all who help in this. Star Assurance, which became our official insurers of the objects, and had to find counter reinsurers in the United Kingdom, and did so on gratis. The Reserve Bank of South Africa, which issued the export permit for these objects, and the great Anglo Gold team that is here, and those of West Wing Logistics and DHL that work behind the scenes and are not here. Big appreciation goes to the former president of Ghana, John Kufuor, as well as to DHL. I will now call on Mr. Honorable Edward Enim to introduce the delegation and also to say some few words.
Yo, Otumfuo Chairman, Utiemia, no man a buy no, Anglo Gold Pennyfuo DHT, a some mobile presentation, no, and maybe your mama. The Tosono Bakune, Mr. Stewart Bailey, on the Chief Sustainability and Corporate Affairs Officer. Dr. Sumiano, Ambassador Basu Sango, Senior Vice President, Group Sustainability. Ena Dr. Sumiansa Erica Subontin, Senior Vice President, African Non-Operated JVs. Your torso 9, Terry Strong, Senior Vice President, Africa. Your torso num, Samuel Boachi Pobi, Managing Director, Anglo Ashanti or Boasi. Now you're MD or Takwa, you know what Takwa, and number was your torso Senior Emmanuel Bedu, Senior Manager, Sustainability at Africa. And a war Edmond, and also Eboa, a friend, Emmanuel Bedu, a Juma William. And a war a Rababia. Or while now we are, but me name the crowd into Mr. Never party in the front. If any case here in ya, also and I'm also it would then it was make out one by to watch me by a massive maker. At this point, no my invite Stewart now on also to the Casa Abatu.
Excellency, the President of the Seychelles, Wavel Ramkalawan, His Excellency Prime Minister Dlamini of Eswatini, His Excellency the former President John Kafur, Nana Num, assembled guests, dignitaries, Memawo Maha. Please accept the greetings today from me, from Anglo Gold Ashanti, from our Board of Directors, from the Board of Directors of Anglo Gold Ashanti Ghana, including the Honorable Enan, who has just spoken so eloquently, and before him, Nana Otto Shribo II. Thank you. There is a South African saying, or at least a saying that we claim in South Africa that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This undertaking that has brought us here today has been an exercise in togetherness, in cooperation, in collaboration. And it's been a collaboration with the Manchia Palace under the direction of His Majesty. It's been an undertaking with the expert guidance of Mr. Ajim Dua, who has shown us a deeper way to appreciate items that are not hard to appreciate very deeply. These are amazing, priceless regalia and artifacts that are beautiful to behold, but are also a tremendous testimony to the expert craftsmanship of the Asantehene and of the people that forged these artifacts hundreds of years ago right here, likely in Kumasi. It was in 2000, as Mr. Ajim Dua said, that the former management of Anglo Gold, and this is before the company merged with Ashanti in 2004, decided that Europe was no place for these artifacts and they would like to bring them back to Africa. And so they purchased these and brought them and created a museum in Cape Town, which allowed many, many people to view these artifacts on the African continent, many of them for the first time in modern history. It is a deep honor for me today
and indeed, as eloquently said by the Ghana's High Commissioner to Seychelles, Her Excellency Francisca, we thank God they are all back home. Yes, indeed, we thank God. Many will come. We have the huge assurance that many will come. If you are watching us live, we are here at the Manchia Palace celebrating the return of King Prempeh the first, the centenary return of King Prempeh the first from Exile. Over the past 1 year, beginning from the 6th of February, the planning committee on the 25th states, we had 18 members. Berima Safo Chinabua Kodia Kumaumanhene Nana Efa Apenten Bompata Manhene Nana Nsuasi Poku Achiman III Otufo Achiamehene Tachifri Beyeman Tiobodo Manhene Badu, the Chief of Staff, Machia Palace, Engineer Nana Poku Achiman, Evan Rose, KMA, Dr. Kweku Mensa Bonsu, Kotehene of Ruara, and Mr. Kofi Owusu, Registrar, Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs. Together with the chairman, his leadership, his decency, remarkable organizational skills, today we are here celebrating the 100th anniversary of the return of King Prempeh to the Golden Kingdom. We'd like to say a big thank you for your hard work and for your creativity and innovations.
We would like to acknowledge everyone who made it possible to have these artifacts brought back over. If you were part of this process, we say Onyankopo Eishrao onto
as the Prime Minister of Eswatini, formerly Swaziland. The following day, he officially assumed office in Prague Disaster Management Agency, where he was instrumental in coordinating responses to national emergencies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Prime Minister of Eswatini, His Excellency Russell Miso Dlamini.
Nana, was it where the wow when I know Asantehene? One a share so good with no stone. I mean, at the Abra, where the wow when I know now, one more de buy and with this son of Abrofono de buy. What's the one
Your Majesty, Honorable Shirley Boshire, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellencies John Kofo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, members of the diplomat, to deliver these remarks on behalf of His Majesty King Mswati III, King of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Allow me to begin this remark of Asante as we celebrate 100 years of the return of Nana Akiama Prempeh I, the Asantehene, from his period of exile in the Seychelles to people. Nana Prempeh I was not just a king, but a symbol of unity and perseverance. His journey has taught us that even in the face of adversity, we must hold on to our identity, our values, and our dreams. His return signified a new chapter of the Asante kings and countries. They agreed to frequent reciprocal visits. However, Ghana has had up to date not received His Majesty King Mswati III. It is His Majesty's wish to reciprocate the visit in the near future. The monarchs also pledged to promote cultural exchanges between the two kingdoms and countries by embracing cultural diversity and preserving cultural heritage. Your Majesty, allow me to recognize the good relationship between the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and His Majesty King Swati III. The President of Ghana and His Majesty King Swati III have maintained strong bilateral relations between our two countries, from which, as we celebrate not just the history that binds us, but the bright future we are creating together. Our countries have faced challenges and triumphs, yet through it all, our friendship has stood the test of time. This partnership is rooted in shared values and hospitality that you have extended to me. Their Royal Highnesses that we are with here today, and my delegation during our stay here in Kumasi. We wish you continued prosperity and success as you lead the people of Asantehene.
But I hope the near future will be next year. Your Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the 26th of October 2020, virtually 4 years, he became the president of Seychelles, a very beautiful country, power to an opposition candidate since the country's independence in 1976. He pursued theological study with humility. Let's welcome the president of Seychelles, His Excellency Raphael Ramkalawan.
Your Majesty, King Utumfu Nana Osei Tutu II, Her Majesty Osei Tutu, Your Excellency Mr. Russell Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Islam, commemorating the 100 years anniversary of the return of King Prempeh I from exile in Seychelles, but 2024 is also the 150th anniversary of the Third Anglo-Asante War of 1874. Your Majesty, this year you are also commemorating the Silver Jubilee of your installment. On behalf of the people of the Republic of Seychelles and on my own behalf, I would like to congratulate Your Majesty on your Silver Jubilee. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Seychelles and Ghana formally established diplomatic relations in October 1988. But historically, the bonds of friendship between the two countries can be traced back to the exile of the late King Prempeh I to Seychelles from 1900 to 1924. It was indeed an honor, though sad, for us in the Seychelles to receive your great king, a man of peace, a man of dignity, a man who showed respect to our people and in return received the full respect and love of the Seychellois. So through his presence in the Seychelles, these bonds were established, and today we are very close as two peoples. You from the Atlantic shores and us from the Indian Ocean, and yet we are one. Your Majesty, I am pleased that I could be here. For me, this visit is not only one to partake in the celebrations of the return of King Prempeh the first from exile, but it is also giving me the opportunity to better understand the Asante people, your culture, your history. Through this, I will be able to better understand the late King Prempeh I, the man he was, and the sacrifices he made for his people and for his kingdom. For me, therefore, the commemorating is also a time of reflection of the past, but also of the future. Seychelles and Ghana have a long history of cooperation in the cultural field. This is mainly due to the historical connection between the Asante people and the people of Seychelles. Yesterday, I was honored to be in the presence of the descendants of the king, and how much they look like our Seychellois nation. We have Seychellois living here in Ghana who were born in Seychelles or whose grandparents were born in Seychelles. And we also have descendants of the Asante in the Seychelles. What better way to unite our people? Earlier this week, as part of my official visit, the Memorandum of Understanding in Cultural Cooperation was signed between Seychelles and Ghana. I am confident that through this MOU, the Seychelles National Institute of Culture, Heritage and the Arts will continue to work closely with representatives from the Ashanti Kingdom to further explore other collaborations possible in this field. And here, Your Majesty, I would like us to go further. And this morning, I had a long conversation with the Member of Parliament from the very constituency where King Prempeh I lived during his exile. I believe we should look to twin the district and Kumasi. This will further reinforce our cultural ties, and this will also allow citizens from Kumasi to come to the Seychelles, and for those from Seychelles to come here to explore the rich diversity of our culture. I am pleased that the Seychelles National Institute of Culture, Heritage and the Arts was able to work closely with Mr. Kwame Akwa, our honorary consul in Ghana, and from representatives from the Kingdom of Ashanti in organizing an exhibition in Seychelles recently commemorating the 100th year celebration of the return of King Prempeh I from exile. To lead your people, we stand by your side, and I look forward to once again welcoming Your Majesty and the First Lady to the Seychelles. Thank you very much.
The President of the Republic of Seychelles, His Excellency Wapel Ramkalawat, is on this note that Your Excellency, we establish the Ghanaian Seychellois Citizens Accord. Those who are born in Seychelles and trace their roots to Ghana, they will all belong to the Ghanaian Seychellois Citizens Accord. On display now are the regalias, the ornaments looted several years ago, and testimonies of the creativity and innovation of this. It will be displayed at the Kumasi Museum, at the Mashia Palace Museum. Your Excellencies,
Seychelles omampani na okasa sisi na Asantehene adwuma Prempeh mfie oha eni a ofu Seychelles ebae enwa fidida no otimu ebie ose Seychelles ene Ghana wo kutawodie nanso ande ya
wose so ngakra dia ka ho na yekura otumfo so bo mu ade Asantehene bo mu ade achiame bo mu ade na ahemfo aka otumfo bo mu ade na ahemfo aka Asantehene so bo mu ade ni nyina wa ha de ba
We dance to express gratitude and respect to our king, His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. And here I present to you the Manchia Royal Dancers. We have 3 notable dances. We have the Kete, the Phantom from, and the Adowa dance. These are the notable traditional dances of the Ashanti culture. And here we are on the red carpet is the Manchia Royal Dancers. Displaying the photo from dance. Asante believe in vibrant colors.
It connotes the spirit of the nation. The golden stool is that which encapsulates the spirit of the whole of Asantehene. And that is why when you touch the golden stool, you have touched Asantehene. And that's why when the body of Prempeh was taken away, and the golden stool still remains, Asantehene kingdom still stays safe. Because the person may die, but the stool doesn't die. So we are trying to modernize by giving you this success to build up of social today, which will last 200 years without going back. And it symbols with the emblem of the king, which is called the Prempeh. This is called the Prempeh. To take all that meaning, but this is the symbol that the heart that he was into war when he entered Kumasi to assume the kingship of the king. So this is the emblem which is clearly reserved for the king. And when the king did this to the forces of the Seychelles, the highest gift that can come out of this together. And it shows the bonds of friendship and the level of solidarity that there is between you and your community. And also between your country and the Ashanti kingdom. Because without you, maybe Ashanti will not have been anymore. So we are very grateful to you. This is really a memento of your history. And we hope that you have a lasting place in your archives.
Thank you very, very much. And rest assured, this will be a treasured gift. And
the artistic presented to His Excellency Weber Mpalawan, President of the Republic of Seychelles, by His Majesty Otumfuo Osei II Asantehene, in the centenary celebration of the return of King Prempeh to Asante.
President of Seychelles, and of course the Prime Minister of Swatini. And the grandchildren, descendants, true royal descendants of King Prempeh I. Some living here, some living in Seychelles. Their great-grandfather, King Prempeh I. We are gradually ending the activities marking the 25th anniversary of His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, who carries the past, the present, and the future of the Ashanti Kingdom. The descendants of King Prempeh I, who live in Seychelles, are here to celebrate the centenary anniversary of King Prempeh I. On the streets of Victoria, you will hear names like Asantehene, Nyako, Sewa, Akosia. Today, the Prime Minister of Eswatini is adorning rich kente cloth as we anticipate King Mswati III here in Kumasi somewhere this year. We continue to give gratitude to Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs and the incoming Secretary General of the Commonwealth, His Excellency Shirley Ayoko Boche. It has been historic. It has been memorable, the celebration of the centenary anniversary of King Prempeh I. The great-grandfather of the descendants, they are all here. I have just received notice that the Member of Parliament for Bantama constituency, the Honorable Minister, Roads and Highways, Ajumara, Honorable Asanso Boache, and the Honorable Regional Minister, the working one, the longest serving Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Osei Bensam, leading delegation from the government, including the Mayor of Ashanti, the Mayor of the Garden City, the Chief Executive Officer of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Honorable Samuel Pine, leading the delegation of government to pay tribute and homage to His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. Member of Parliament for Bantama, Minister of Roads and Highways, Jumara, Honorable Francis Asanso Boache. And again, we have the Director of Cultural Affairs of the President. We welcome also the former Deputy Regional Minister, Mr. Andy Okrai. I just saw him, Nana Yasantewa, who's here to exchange courtesies with the President of Seychelles and the Prime Minister of Swatini and members of the diplomatic corps, including...
Hello, comment, so... We don't listen.
For Chami, you kind of the best threat.
Omo Asuma Radio Minister na Pamfu General say fa se be bonisa national propentunsia brandy papa no so pentunsia Johnny Walker pentunsia na wine so adaka wado me bru o ma penye say obomo ade na Asante ma obomo ade wa chame obomo ade and I'm going to put my dear. I can't go my dear. Now here come my dear. What's what on my brew?
See the President of Seychelles in his cassock as he will preach to us, opening the scriptures, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whosoever believe in him will not perish, but have eternal life. Tomorrow's also fellowshipping with us tomorrow at the Anglican Church will be His Excellency Russell Biso Tramley, the Prime Minister of Swatini, formerly Swaziland. Indeed, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Russell Biso Tramley, is also here with His Royal Highness Prince Lindani and His Royal Highness Prince the gentle giant, the former President of the Republic, the true son, the former Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, who still have the capacity to arrest anybody who will give us any loud gunshots. And his fighting spirit of the Ashanti people. She was also exiled in 1900 to Seychelles. I need to remind you that the former Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency John Ajakum Kufuor, is still here. has the capacity to still do what he does best.
Hello. Hi. My name is Nanahima, and you?
I'm Dr. Lisette Caesar.
Okay. Please, where are you from?
I am from Brooklyn, New York.
New York?
United States, yes.
Okay. What brought you here?
Well, I have a friend here, Nana, and her family are hosting me, and I'm doing some community service on my own at a school here. So I'm an author, I'm a retired principal, so I brought some of my children's books here to share with the children at the school. And I also brought in some clothes and some other books and some donations from the United States.
How did you see today's celebration?
Oh my gosh, the 25th anniversary jubilee was amazing. It was amazing. It's amazing to see the king and the queen mother and all of the culture here in Ghana. I'm very excited to be here. I wish I could be here longer. I'm only here until next week, so I need a month to be here to really take it all in.
You do enjoy the celebration?
I did enjoy the celebration. I was here yesterday for the celebration. I enjoyed both days.
Okay, so what are you telling the whole world?
Well, I've been posting every minute. I've been posting on Facebook and Instagram about how wonderful it is to be here in Ghana, how wonderful the people are. Everyone's been so friendly and so inviting to me. It's been amazing.
So you mean you love Ghana?
I love Ghana. I think I may move here. Yes, of course I do. I think I may need to move here.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, Mom family so na men sanka ni nyina ampa so obo sampa ye so nananom ayeden nananom atie ama ene adue nyame aye adom ama America London de no aye kronko asuma nananom kweteti wo mo no sagranti wo no ye niema na ye godo mfa ye nyina nyame aye adom ama mo de London aban de ya de ya bere ye ene ne due so yate atadu yate denne ene due so no Seychelles de ne so no oyine president ne wohene ni de animu a nyame adom ewo boss suma adasa nyina hunu bi ene so yensa akante na yate de ne de nyame asese ne mre so yi ye niema bi ayere bia nananom ene nyame aboa me yenseka saa so na nananom ne ahemafo aka so yesu enya pade bia ne niema bia akohye nteche mu bia so nyame befa yeso se de nananom no nyame fa otumfo se tutu abebi so ne me niema ne saka no saa na yesu ye de a ayira nyina so nananom ne nyame so beboa ma yensa aka ebi se ne obi ade anyira wa de anyira ne di mfie wa akora usabeka bizana penifo bu bebi se wo kan tam kese egu amremu apie se de nyame adom ye nananom ne ma akodi baabi ya no wo mo no mo hyehye wo mo a wo mo de ba ne se de yaka nyina ye de beba
na we de bebu say now expectation for program no sign na now expectation tie
me program
expectation sign na now program ni nyina sign na now si hu ne fa
program hu ni se ni nyina efe say yaka ne wafa Prempeh the first our feast Seychelles ba here no we dey aka no na face so ne ma Seychelles for ne fa nyina so
how program be fa kwanya so na ball program
we so de mefa so na match ya atozuma nyina ne atozu dwase fro Kuwait ma nyina ne me kuru Asantehene na Asantehene ma ene ahenyerefo ne ahemfo ne ahemafo nyina na duma de bi edamanim na watwe se ne 30th ene mebo se adwa no meme de be ene mebo se adwa no na adwa bo ni nyina tintin titie nyina ne se me tra ba ndwa so 13 years ni ti afi na nyame ne na adwa bo no enhyehyeye wo hu ne se nyame bo a 27th enam se dwumadi adwa bo ne dwumadi etire so de se adisua ene ayi empuntuo eyade e da makoma so se ema wo man ye de ekọ so se de me kunu Asantehene ne je impuntuo ene adesua ho saa na ne yere so me de tai be kurachi na nyame bo a 27 for na me de bus be kwa akọchiche atonsu kuma ene atonsu junase afre Kuwait school nkola na me kwa mo bus ene pen asofo de bedika abompa yansa na mbakodi sa adwuma no na me de ko ma mo wi a nyame bo a na de 28 no eye Queen's Mother's Day asorifo ewo nipa 10 Tasty Tom ene Gihok Honorable Kofi Jima mo na asomasene any boost any company ni bibiri na asomasene aye je se ye beye food competition the obedi first on so ni ama na wo na nya no nko agogo hospital for so beba be screening it say health first tie se any pedua no nipa no ewa ahwode na obetimi aye adwuma na so obetimi akosku na so obetimi ansa adwuma bi sine ni so obetimi aye eti agogofo so beba be ye free screening ni abehwe nkrofo mpom se de free screening ne koso no na tese food competition ni so ye de koso eti no na chi no na de chi efiada no anopa ye be ko exercise ye be exercise ukromo ye exercise su ukromo wi a na wi aso no emebru ne ye de omubu oman eti mnantia no so beteretere yapom Exile any old town atonsu old town any Kuwait any aprabonfo behia ne ya ye de ya bok o akansie you be the first no so ne de na award amano ye de na award amano enti no so na chi no na adechi ye 30 for do so no na de ba kase so mebo e wa atonsu dwuna station wa na no so efra no pa no ndu ekosi anwumere so di na kakra so ye de eta echi na nyame bua de kwasi ade efe December so a makwade nyame ase na tese yumedie ni nyina asi
yo sadia na atonsu huma ese ni osumu nyina mu beja no na nanma brempomfo na ahema wotonsa fro bibia se eda ebe eye 30th mu nyina mu beja no na dwumadi a esi nani so ontumi endan ni nyina edi na yada ase no
me so me damase bebre me chia me nyina so achia me busuafo nyina kronkwa abusua omo abrochiri omo amano omo wo baabia tifini benjiri nyina me chia obi bia mechia obi bia nti bise nyame se nyame mfa obi a wo baabia so emedura sumiem na obi bia so ase na Israel FM na efe beba na adwanwe no omo nyina so ta adwumadie no achi nti wo yire pafo so ta achi na Adom TV so Adum TV musomo ta achi nyame nhyira mo na onyam kese na etiefu amotie so nyame nhyira mo na onyam kese kwesi mo be kese pa
akwaba yenya ya maame pani wa ha program no say na atonsu Abusia sani ohu ye atonsi hema ane ene twetwe komo ani program eda nanim no da ni nyina edi no eba ya duru so ye ko otumfo yire ho ne ye ne na kwa akodi nkomo maame edom tv mu akwa
Jonso
na ye be ka se dwumadie ni nyina
mesmi otumfo yire atonsi agogo na ne mehunu afa ne se kakra meka ntitia ne se eye ade a ye ni ji ani ahosepe pa ma ye firi se ye nananom agapate ni ade firi ye nsa dadadada bi dodo okra che ye panyi ne enam ye wura nana wo se tutu bi oso na ye nsa aka sa ne ma we nyina na ye nanam so a eye me nana e wale sa nana Prempeh ya ene ye di ni 100 years yi abra itwa ne suko ye me nana ware no me nana ne frɛ nana ntwe anyinam enti sa mmere ene ye di afinche enti ama ye ni age papa enti ne ye nyina be ka bo mu a ye be di sa fidi dai enti ye ni jesam kase ma ye pa ne ahosepe
sani ye eni jida ne ahosepe edema wo broni be ka se expectation program no na eden na wo expect ana say wo expected ye na wo expect no so eden na wo hu ni nyina e fae
de na me hwehwe ahu an say ye niam na yira ye no nyina na nka ye pa hu ne nso ni nyina pia bonten ohina ma ni nyina pia bonten ye wura otumfo de me de bae ama obi hu bi a obi oba ha bia di hu adanse say ye nsa kampa na momunya tro ne yetwa nti ahosepe pa
maame otumfo yire so ne ne twetwe nkomo ne beda na ase wo ne mbra wonyamae maame ye da wase ahafo ye nkomo twetwe na ya hya ase ne otumfo yire ama echa ama kirewa na edi nkomo a oye influence atwuma influence hema ene ne ba bedi nkomo na my so say nkomo twetwe no ebefrase no mididi ye se wo besua ade afim sa so na ye besua ade afim emre ne nti ye bekoye maame nche ne na kwa akodi nkomo ye so ana ma enya ne mpacho wa obeboy ade
otumfo yire ohime yire amachirewa a mefiri influence atwuma kumase
we die ye say ye nana ye Prempeh one na wo ka ho na ye ko Seychelles mpacho wo ka ho a wo ko ye die me so be mo ya bakosem kakra
so de abrofo no baaye no na ye de ekunu ekọ no na wa onim say aware de ekunu ka se ye nkọ ne nkọja no eti ye boy ho na ekọja no so de be ya ono so ne ho me beka ane ho anu tile ma ekọja no
na enne dwumadie no san na wo si hu ne fa se wo boni nyina
tofa na mebo ne se ye de nyame asese ye wura o se tutu se wa ma ye boadwe yem otimi afti ye ne ma se be aburuni kokko wo be sisa ni nyina akọ otimi ye nyakokodro adi ni nyina aba ama ye nyina ehu se ampa abrofo no wo mo anye ne ye ama ye na nso so wabomodi ejina ama ye na chese wakoji ye ne ma nti ne ye baye ye nyina ye home aka ye ho eti ye wura se tutu onya nkwada nyame nhira no na de bia onya kokodro na onfa moa ye wa kwa horo nyina ya so
na we de obehwe ye camera na waka inkwasa sham akire otumfo amaye
biewura o se tutu wa ne ye wa wawu ye do wase se watime anya kokodro na aboa Asantehene no abetena se akire yem se de abrofo no ebefa ye ne makoye na watime agina ho na o mapem so ama o matse ase wakasa gu o mosum ne se ye de ne man beba ampa so wakoje aba ama ye nyina Asantehene ye hunu se ampa wakoje ama wo bema mu ye de wase nyame nhira nyame ma nkwatenten da ohene nyankwada amen
eya otumfo yire ene ne twetwe nkomo no atwoma infensi hema ye be gusua e de nkomo twetwe ne so efrase maame se ka se infensi a ase
chese tete ho no na ekonkon no a obia kontokwa kọ baabi foforo no na chese eduru mrebi no mkonya asase bi a ompese sise o motena so na yesikoti kokọ no ono ka kire omo senka yemfa aba bi nsi baabi dua bi nsi baabi na kire obi ka se oda bi memfansi ha nam eno so no eti wo mo de kosi de wo mo pe no na ma fe okay memfansi ha we so fesi ha na omo nya baabi a edisi ye na fence kuro na nkasa soso no omo wa adwuma bi wo hono ma omo ye ayowa asase ko omo asase kokko a omo de ayowa no so ahodi wo mu pa a obi atwam a utobi a eye wo twi mo ko ne ko tombe ne ade wa obi hu se ade papa ye tutu ne yie kama etu obi atwam a ontom fence ayowa
mama das
na ho te sei nyame adome ho ye na so e boko ene wo ho ayefe ene mehwe se de wasi afra wo kente ene wayane ne wo mpempena ne wo ho no a efe ene ye nyina behie mu ha si afunu ba ku mu ade kotokohene fie ha dwumadie a akoso efa na Prempeh odikai Seychelles aye de ne koye na ne mu a oba ye mfinhia wo ha yi ene ne ediye na sewa ene wo hwe saa afahye ya wo ne sei ehunu se afahye de ye soronko ma honhoaho a efiri se ne ye ne nna se de opem so na na se etu abebio oka so akwa asan ba mpa edemnim se de wo kan no ye ohene dadansa na ye wo no efiri se wo hwe niam a wo ye no a ane bra adwene na ntiase so hwe tete niam se de ye sikan na me nana ya ye kana seme nana se Prempeh the first ma me huno me dem bi photo ni ma hunu aso ye nana aduedue mu amade fata na se biara oso onso ametokra a wonyai obehwa no aye de fata na se de wose woye ama nchiri maso ye ba ya be hunu na e mesi ye nyina ye na ntidwa bokase a ene nana ode ahyehye so ha no enye asamketo akora de obehwe bibi obehunu sampa ene ye nana no ama e ho asepeye ama tete enema ye hunu ye kura ye hunu bi ma de akeka France Seychelles na de akeka ho nyina wodi bi abadada London for de bi aba America wo susu aba be county ne ho se ye nana nyame bo ne hene o ya kokoduro for ye nimdie for pa ti ye da na se ya me nhira ne na ho de ne ye se de ba no se won koso a won kasa ye mu no kan bibi se wakwa asaba woka wakwa asaba o kire se me kire se sabio nipa se ya wo ya empenefo se de nana no ka no ti de nana no asem ka bia so ye gitum esi nipa we de wo hwe se de ositi a wakwa asaba so ayo obi a wo ba wi ase a wo sa kwa wasaba enti wo enti na efre na nana se tutu abebio opem so enti wakwa abebio enti won de wo koba na niam a wo ho nyina na de wo koto ye nana no nyina ya kire no wo hunu so ni nyina so de o ye pepepepe se ya nana so wo hwem pa ye nana Prempeh the first ye se de ye nana ya besina na wo hono so an se niam a wo ye nyina kire se niam a wo ye nyina kire se ya se wono a na wo ho a wo ya ade no enti na obi wo ha wo hwe na se de nipa ni su na ne ba city se se de nipa su na ne ba city de nya fe no oba wi ase wo akwa aba enti na friend se nana abebio nana se tutu abebio okonso enti enei yebeka se eniema bia se ene wo di wani eba adwumadi ase ebi a me beka se mboa edi eniema na hu se Seychelles fo no betumi dia todwa ama wo mo chichi ni benche asu ahu se obi kura beka se yeboa nanso ne wadie dia na wo ka kire woni o Ghana na abrochi ni wiase afa na nyina dia me ka kire o mne se obi ka chinyedie nim bia no amehwebi eniema na toatoa so Seychelles fo na so bai mroni a o ka wo so no kra wonti apo nanso so wonti mentena senti se nne ye na nan ko ba ye mfie wo hani a wode ba kire ma santime nyina hu se ade na mpa ye na nam no niema ba bia ko kai ni enti na wode aba etoa so na me anim a me hu no kra me ho niema makom yensa akese enda kam ne asa dia brofo niema ya rapo ni ade a ya bie so a obi a bi hu se ampa ye na nan niema ko ka ba bi enam na se tutu abebio opem so na daromenti ama niema ni nyina be ka yensa enti etisa enti mo obi anyi ho achinye ede ba ya mpa enti se wa se wo hwe adifefei ne se de ekotokohene wo ye niema o se mabayi madie bia ire bia no meko age edi sa asem wei ne niema mpa okoje se na wo kacha Asantefo a wo wiase se na wo kacha Ghana fo se na wo kacha wone a wonya Asantefo na nso wo Asantememu de me ka kire o nyina ne se na se atu de me ma fam de enkempai bokese na wohia se nyame be mena kwankyere kese na Solomon nyansa a wode ma no ono ne de no kra aburu Solomon de so enti obi akoni nkotodwa ani mu a won se osoro nhyira ne adom ne enwobro ma no so obe ma ne da nkwa do be mena hoden ne Asantefo ye wo Ghana nyina so ye hunu se nyame wa me ade kese pa nyi obi a ne nya ne sa sabe nyi obi a ne nya sa ne ya de edam soron kokora se ka se e ka obi be ka se Asantefo bi a yasam na so nya asam de ye hu ne edi mu adanse enti wo mo aye wo ha o nya ye wo amano ne baabia ye hunu se nyame wa che ade kese enti wo mko ye nkotodwa ni ma empa ye ne emfantare e na no pem so achi no ma na nkwane ahoden na se de wo sika se na ade aka baabia nyame nti woda so etikese e so daye nyame be yi a kire no ama baabia ne bi bia wo no so ababa be di Asantefo ensa si medamu nyina ase yo ye beda mame boatima ase e ka mame boatima so so ye de kon hene ade nyina no ono so aka dan niam bebredi e fa edwa kese aye boy na de fihia Seychelles for mpanimfo e boy be de hia omo ne de ma omo akwa aba ne mpempra ne ani asetu na agema na Prempeh eniema odi na Prempeh odi kai eniema okoja ne Seychelles na omo de abana na wei eye kenahye wei eye ensam wa chezo tumfo ne hu cause all the finishia aduonu ma fida no wo se madie bia de bia mekokopɛ madie mekoaje ampa eniema na ba ene ebia betodwa wei chese Asante your mind Asante kotoko kuma pembeba Asante tumi da so tiase Asante ngui Asante da so gina ho Asante bekoso ayo meja na so Asante bekoso ahyen Asante bekoso akwa nim amewiase nyina ehu de onyankopon waya Asante man se wa yeda ase